Okay, another part of area is area of circles, and this is from lesson 8 yet. Remember, we've already talked about area of squares, rectangles, and also area of triangles. Now the next step is the area of circles. Now first of all, the area of a circle. In your notes, let's write down the formula for that. To find the area of a circle, that's equal to taking pi times the radius squared. So we're going to take the radius, and it's important here that we know what to do first. So really, if I have area, I'm going to use 3.14 for pi. I'm going to get rid of that mark up there. So you're going to take 3.14 times the radius squared. Now, the important part here is that before you take 3.4 times something, we have to do this first. You have to square the radius first. You have to take the radius of the circle, square it, then take that answer times 3.14. So for example, in the circle that I have to the left, if the radius of that is 5, let's say it's 5. Well, what we're going to do then is we're going to take, the area would be equal to pi times the radius squared, or in other words, 3.14 times the 5 being squared. So you're going to square the radius, take that answer times 3.14. So how do you square a number? How do I take 5 and square it? Remember, when you square a number, that means to take the 5 times itself. 5 squared means 5 times 5, or in other words, 25. So you're going to take 3.14 times 25. Now in this particular one, I'm not going to finish that out, but all you have to do is to take the 3.14 times the 25, and you have your area of the circle. All right, let's take a look at example 1. In example 1, it says the radius of a circle is 3 centimeters. Now I'm going to make a diagram of that. So you've got a circle, and we know that the radius is 3. Remember, radius is halfway across. Find the area of the circle. All right, so I'll take, so I know that area of a circle is pi times radius squared. I have the radius of the circle. So that's 3.14 times, let's see, the radius is 3. I'm going to square that. Now remember what I mentioned a little bit ago. Square the radius first, then take that answer times the 3.14. Do not take 3.14 times 3 first. That's not how that's working. The order of operations says that you have to do exponents first. So I'm going to take 3.14. Okay, what's 3 squared? Which means 3 times 3, 9. Now this one, I'm going to finish out. So you have 3.14 times 9, and we get about 28.26. Now, the label on this is centimeters. It's area, so it's centimeters squared. And that's the area of that particular circle. All right, let's take a look at example 2. Now, this one's a little different. This time in the circle, you're given the diameter. So in other words, all the way across is 24 meters. Now, the formula for the area of a circle, though, is pi times the radius squared. I need the radius of that circle. So what's the radius of a circle if the diameter is 24? Well, halfway across would be what? 12, right? So the radius is 12. So to find the area, I'm going to take 3.14 times 12 squared, which is 3.14 times 144, right? Because 12 squared means 12 times 12. And then I'm going to take a calculator here. 3.14 times 144 gives me 452.16. And the label is meters, and since it's area, it's meters squared. So the key on this problem is that you had to make sure you got the radius before you use the formula, since they gave us the diameter. All right, last problem I have is example 3, and this is the harder one out of all of them. Now, in this problem, they want us to find the area of this figure. So in other words, they want us to find everything that's covered inside this figure. And the only way you're going to be able to do that is if you split it up into different parts. So what I notice here is that if I dropped a line straight down, I have half a circle there. If I dropped a line straight down, I have a triangle at the end. So I have a triangle, I have a rectangle, maybe it's a square, we'll see. Still find the area of it the same way. And I have a circle, but in particular, it's a half a circle. And what we're going to do is we're going to find the area of each of those and then add those up to find the total area of this figure. All right, so let's do this. Let's do the triangle first. Now in the triangle, I need the base and I need the height of it. Because remember, for a triangle, the area of a triangle is the base times the height divided by 2. The base, what's the base? Well, I know from here to here is 5, right? The whole thing is 7 from here to here. So that must mean this is 2. This part right here is 2. So the base is 2. What's the height? I know that this is, the radius is 2, right? This is 2. All these are 2. So that means this is 2. So what's the diameter? What's all the way across? 4. Then we'll take that and divide it by 2. So we have 8 divided by 2. We get 4. So the area of, remember, for area of a triangle, you got to divide by 2. So we get 4 over here. All right, let's do the rectangle now. Now the rectangle, and I'm going to highlight this in a little different color. So we're finding the area of a rectangle, length times width. So it's 5 by what again? What did we say that was? 4. The height of that triangle was 4, so the rectangle is that height too. So 5 times 4 is 20. So the area of the rectangle is 20. Now finally, let's do the circle. Let's find the area of the circle. So take pi times radius squared. Take 3.14 times 2 squared, right? The radius is 2. Take 3.14 times 4. I'm going to take a calculator and I'm going to calculate that out. 3.14 times 4 gives me 12.56. Now that's the area of a full circle. This is half a circle, so I divide by 2. And I get a 6.28. Now I add those 3 numbers together. So 6.28 plus 20 plus 4, and I get 30.28. And let's see, there wasn't any units on this, so we'll just call this units squared. And that's the total area. So I'm not going to give another example of this problem, just because they do take a little while here, and I would just replay this one. But to make a long story short, what we did is we took the original figure and we split it into parts. So we have a triangle, we have a rectangle, and then we had a half a circle. And we found the areas of each of those and we added them all up. So area of circles is the topic, and it goes along with lesson 8.